Hey, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Imagine finding a penny in your pocket worth over $1 million. Sounds crazy, right? Well, buckle up because today, we're talking about the 1980 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, one of the rarest and most valuable pennies out there, with a market value of up to $1.1 million. Yep, a penny that could buy you a mansion, a luxury car, or, well, a lifetime supply of coffee. If you've got one lying around, you might just be sitting on a goldmine without even knowing it. In this video, we'll break down what makes this penny so valuable, how to tell if you have one, and what to do if you strike it rich. And trust me, you'll want to stick around to the end because I'll share a hilarious personal story about my own experience finding a rare coin. Spoiler alert, it involves a garage sale and an angry grandma. Okay, so let's talk history. The 1980 Lincoln penny was part of the Memorial Reverse series, featuring Good Ol' Honest Abe on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. Nothing unusual, right? Well, here's where things get interesting. Most pennies from this year have a small letter underneath the date, indicating the mint where they were made. A D for Denver, an S for San Francisco, or nothing for Philadelphia, but every now and then, mistakes happen. A small batch of 1980 pennies were struck in Philadelphia without the proper mint mark. These coins, due to their rarity, have become one of the holy grails of modern pennies. Now, before you start emptying your piggy bank, let's talk value. So, what makes a 1980 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny worth up to $1.1 million? A few things. A penny that's been chilling in a coin jar for 40 years? Probably not worth much. But if yours is in mint or near mint condition, you're looking at serious cash. Some of these pennies have unique errors, like double dies or off-center strikes, making them even more valuable. The fewer there are, the higher the price. And trust me, collectors go nuts for a good rarity. Now, let me tell you about my own experience with coin hunting. My personal experience with a rare coin found a few years ago. I was at a garage sale, digging through a dusty old box of random junk. Among the VHS tapes, expired coupons, and an old calculator that still had someone's algebra homework on it, I found a small jar of pennies. The lady running the sale looked at me and said, "Oh honey, you can take those for free. Just spare me the trouble of counting them." I took the jar home, spilled out the coins, and boom, there it was. A 1969 double-die Lincoln penny. My hands started shaking like I'd just found a winning lottery ticket. I rushed to a coin dealer, and sure enough, it was worth thousands. And now, ever since then, I check every penny I come across. And you should too. Because one day, that little coin in your pocket could change your life. It should say 1980 with no small letter underneath. If it's shiny, clean, and has minimal scratches, that's a good sign. Hold it under a magnifying glass or take it to a professional grader to see if it has any doubling, off-center strikes, or other rare features. If you think you have one, don't clean it. Cleaning a coin can actually lower its value. Instead, put it in a protective case and get it authenticated by a professional. So there you have it, your spare change could be hiding a $1.1 million treasure. Who knew checking your couch cushions could be this exciting? If you loved this video and want to learn more about valuable coins hiding in plain sight, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'll be dropping more tips, tricks, and crazy coin stories you don't want to miss. And before you go, drop a comment below and tell me, what's the most interesting coin you've ever found? Let's see who's got the best coin hunting story. Hey there, coin lovers. Let me ask you something. Have you ever dug through your loose change or old coin jar and thought, maybe I've got a gold mine in here? Well, you might be closer to the truth than you think. I'm about to tell you about a penny that could be worth a small fortune, more specifically, a 1963 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. This little guy could be worth up to $1.2 million, and no, that's not a typo. Stick with me, because this is one story you won't want to miss. Now, before you head off to search your couch cushions for loose change, let's break it down and see what makes the 1963 no-mint Mark penny so valuable. Spoiler alert, it's not just because it's old, but there's a bit of a mystery behind this coin that you'll find pretty wild. So, grab a snack, sit back, and let's dive in. John F. Kennedy was still in office, and the Beatles were about to take over the world. Meanwhile, the US Mint was cranking out pennies like nobody's business. But here's where things get interesting. Some of the pennies that year were made without a mint mark. Now, you're probably thinking, what's the big deal? It's just a penny. But hold your horses. The lack of a mint mark means this coin was struck in Philadelphia, and that tiny detail is the key to its huge value today. So, why does a little absence of a mint mark matter so much? Well, let me tell you about a very relatable experience of mine. I remember once thinking I had found the golden ticket of pennies. This one was worn down, but I swear I saw something shiny under the grime. Turns out, it was just a shiny penny. But imagine the excitement of finding a coin like the 1963 no mint mark Lincoln penny, which is actually worth up to $1.2 million if it's in pristine condition. That's what I call the real deal. Here's where the story gets even juicier. In 1963, the US Mint was pumping out coins at full speed to meet the demand of a booming economy. Most of those pennies had a mint mark indicating where they were struck, the D4 Denver or S4 San Francisco. But a small number of pennies that year were made in Philadelphia without any mint mark. For the record, Philadelphia coins usually have a P mint mark, but these particular pennies were a bit of an oversight by the mint, unmarked and easily overlooked. Now, not all of these pennies are worth a fortune. To be clear, they need to be in excellent condition, like mint condition. If you've got a 1963 penny that looks like it's been through a few too many pockets and wash cycles, it's probably not going to fetch you a small fortune. But if it's in good condition, you might be sitting on a gold mine, or should I say, a copper mine? Great question. Here's the rundown. First, check the condition. The more pristine it is, the higher its value. You want sharp, clear details on Lincoln's face and the surrounding design. Basically, it should look almost as if it was just minted yesterday. Second, take a magnifying glass and check for that mint mark, or lack thereof. If it's missing, you've got yourself a rare wonder. But here's the kicker: even if you don't find a 1963 no mint mark penny, don't give up hope just yet. Coin collecting is a journey, not a sprint. If you start digging into your old pennies, you might just discover something worth more than what you expected. I once found a penny I thought was worthless. Turns out, it was a special edition with a tiny defect that made it way more valuable than I thought. So, if I can have a moment with a penny, imagine the possibilities for you. So, there you have it. The 1963 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny is one of those hidden gems you never saw coming, sitting in your change jar or at the bottom of a drawer. With a market value of up to $1.2 million, this penny is worth way more than its face value, and it could be hiding in plain sight in your collection of loose change. Before you head off to search your coin jar, let me just leave you with this: coin collecting isn't just about finding valuable coins, it's about the hunt, the stories, and the excitement of discovering something new. And who knows? Your next penny might just be the one that makes your day, or even your year. But hey, don't leave just yet. If you want more tips and tricks on coins that could be worth a fortune, and more stories from my own coin hunting adventures, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss the next big find. Hey, everyone! You ever found a penny lying around in your couch cushions or maybe under the car seat? Most people would just toss it in their pocket or throw it in the jar with all the other useless change, right? But what if I told you that one of those pennies could be worth $1.3 million? You heard me right, $1.3 million. Stick around, and I'll tell you about the 1994 no mint mark Lincoln penny and how it's one of the most valuable pennies you might never even know you have. Now, if you're anything like me, you've probably spent a good chunk of your life just passing over pennies like they're no big deal. But, after learning about this coin, I might never look at a penny the same way again. And hey, I want to make sure you don't miss out on any hidden treasures lurking in your pockets. So, let's dive right in and see what makes this 1994 no mint mark penny so ridiculously valuable. Alright, first things first, what's the deal with this 1994 no mint mark Lincoln penny? Why is it so special? I mean, it's just a penny, right? Well, this coin isn't your typical 1994 penny. You see, most pennies minted in 1994 have a mint mark on them, which indicates where they were made. There's the D4 Denver and the P4 Philadelphia. But this particular penny? It's missing the mint mark altogether, which is super rare. Now, I know what you might be thinking: how rare is it? Like, seriously rare? Well, here's where things get crazy. Out of the millions of pennies produced in 1994, only a few of them were struck without a mint mark. And when you're talking about something rare in the coin world, that's what makes a coin valuable. You know, the rarer the better, like that one pair of socks that always disappears in the laundry. If it was found, it'd be worth a fortune, right? So, how did this happen? Well, it was likely a mistake, just like when you try to bake cookies and they come out looking like they've been through a war zone. The missing mint mark on the 1994 pennies was a result of a minting error. The Philadelphia Mint was supposed to stamp that little P, but for some reason, a few of them slipped through the cracks without it. That small mistake turned out to be one of the most sought-after mistakes in coin collecting history. Now, let's talk numbers. How much is this penny worth, exactly? Well, the 1994 no-mint mark penny in pristine condition, what's known as MS-67, can fetch up to $1.3 million at auction. Yes, you heard me right. That little penny, which you could have found anywhere, might be sitting in a dusty old coin jar in your house, just waiting to make you a millionaire. I'm not saying you should go digging through your couch cushions, although, I would love to hear about your finds if you do. But seriously, this penny can be worth a lot if you get your hands on one in great condition. Let me tell you a little personal story about how I got into coin collecting, which may make you appreciate the idea of going through old change jars. A couple of years ago, I was cleaning out my mom's garage, the kind of stuff that's been sitting around for decades, when I found a dusty old tin can. At first, I thought it was just a bunch of old receipts and paper clips. But then I took a closer look, and inside, there were all these old coins, most of them looking like they'd been buried for centuries. I almost tossed them aside until I saw one penny that looked a little different. It was from 1967, and it had that shiny, almost too perfect finish. So, I did a little research and found out that certain pennies from that year can be worth a lot more than their face value. Long story short, after getting it appraised, I learned it was worth over $500. That's when I started paying more attention to these little coins. And trust me, there's so much more out there than we realize. Just like this 1994 no-mint mark penny, if you have one in your pocket, you could be sitting on a goldmine. So, to recap, the 1994 no-mint mark Lincoln penny could be worth a whopping $1.3 million, thanks to a simple yet rare minting error. If you come across one of these pennies, and it's in fantastic condition, don't just throw it in your spare change jar like I used to. It could be worth much more than you think. If you've learned something new today, or if you've got some old coins lying around you're curious about, be sure to subscribe to the channel for more tips on how to spot valuable coins. I'll be bringing you more stories, coin strategies, and tips that might just help you turn your spare change into something incredible. And hey, if you've ever found a rare coin or have a funny story about a coin hunt, drop it in the comments below. I'd love to hear your stories. Who knows? Maybe you'll be the next lucky person to find a hidden treasure. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time with more coin hunting tips. Keep your eyes peeled for those rare pennies, folks. They might just be waiting to make you a millionaire. Hey there, coin enthusiasts. Have you ever found a coin in your pocket and wondered, is this little piece of metal worth anything? Well, if you've got a 1977 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, you might be in for a big surprise. Now, I know what you're thinking, a penny? Worth something? No way. But trust me, you're about to find out how this little copper coin could be worth a whole lot more than you think. We're talking about a cool $1.5 million here. Yes, you heard me right, million. So stick around as we break down why the 1977 no-mint mark penny is a serious treasure. Alright, let's dive right in. First, let's talk about what makes a coin valuable. You might think it's all about how old it is, right? And sure, age can help, but there's more to it. Condition, rarity, and the overall demand in the market all play a huge role in a coin's value. Now, let's look at this little 1977 penny. To the untrained eye, it looks like just another one of those pennies we all toss in a jar and forget about. But, here's where the magic happens. Normally, pennies are made with a mint mark, like the letter D or S, which tells us where they were made. But in 1977, some pennies got out there without any mint mark at all. A mistake? Maybe. But for coin collectors, it's pure gold. And now, these no mint mark 1977 pennies are rare, and when something's rare, it gets more valuable. It's kind of like those rare sneakers everyone's scrambling to buy, or that limited edition video game console that's sold out in seconds. If you happen to have one of these pennies lying around in your collection, congratulations, you could have a real gem on your hands. The 1977 no mint mark penny is known for its scarcity. Sure, it's not the oldest penny in the world, but this little guy made it through a minting process that left him without that crucial identifying mark. That mistake, or perhaps I should say that opportunity, makes it rare and much more sought after by collectors. People who specialize in coins go crazy for stuff like this, and that's why we're talking about a $1.5 million price tag. Pretty wild, right? And let's be clear here, if you've got one of these coins, it doesn't mean it's automatically worth $1.5 million. It's all about the condition. A penny that's been rolling around in your pocket for years won't fetch top dollar. But if you've kept it in pristine condition, that's when you're looking at some serious money. We're talking about mint condition, no scratches, no discoloration. If you've got a shiny, uncirculated beauty, you might want to sit down because you could be sitting on a small fortune now. Here's a funny little story I have. A few years ago, I was rummaging through my old coin collection. I found a 1977 penny and thought, this is just another one of those pennies I got from the bank. I wasn't even looking for anything special at that point. But then, just out of curiosity, I checked for a mint mark. Nothing. I was like, wait a minute, my heart started racing as I pulled out the magnifying glass to look for any signs of wear. It looked pretty good, but not perfect. Long story short, I didn't find anything that would make me rich, but the lesson stuck with me. That's why I'm sharing this info with you today. Coin hunting is not just a hobby. It's an adventure, so if you're going through your old change, or maybe you're digging through your coin collection, keep an eye out for that 1977 no mint mark penny. It could be sitting right there, waiting for you to discover its true value. And who knows? Maybe your next coin discovery will be worth enough to fund a vacation, or better yet, retire early before you go. Here's a quick reminder: coin collecting isn't just about looking for riches, it's about enjoying the process of discovering something new. You never know what treasure is waiting in your pocket, and that's what makes coin collecting so exciting. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I've got plenty more tips, strategies, and fun stories about coins worth money. Plus, if you want to stay up to date on the latest coin discoveries, you won't want to miss a single episode. So go ahead, like, subscribe, and share this with your fellow coin lovers. Who knows? Maybe you'll end up finding the next $1.5 million penny. Alright, folks. Ever thought that a tiny piece of copper could be worth more than your lunch? Well, today, I'm about to introduce you to a coin that's not just another penny. It's a 2005 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, and guess what? This little guy is currently worth a cool $1.6 million. Yeah, you heard that right. If you've got one lying around in your change jar, you might just be sitting on a literal goldmine. Let's dive in and figure out why this humble penny could make you rich. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you might find yourself scouring every corner of your house for those pennies that you once thought were worthless. So, first things first, let's talk about the 2005 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. The mint mark, by the way, is that little letter you see on coins that tells you where they were made. The thing is, this particular penny, the 2005 Lincoln, doesn't have a mint mark, which makes it special. Normally, pennies come from one of three mints: Philadelphia, P, Denver, D, or San Francisco, S. But the 2005 with no mint mark? That's a Philadelphia coin, folks. Why does that matter? Well, because it means fewer of them were produced, and in the world of coin collecting, scarcity equals value. Now, most of us don't think twice about tossing a penny in a jar or using it for a vending machine, but if you happen to have a 2005 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, you might want to take another look before you part with it. Here's the deal: this penny isn't just worth its face value. Nope. It's been known to sell for as much as $1.6 million at auctions. Why? Because it's a rare error coin. Somewhere along the way, the US Mint made a mistake and didn't add a mint mark on some of these pennies, leading to this collectible gem. Coin collectors lose their minds over this stuff. See this little guy? To the untrained eye, it's just another penny. But to a seasoned collector, it's worth a fortune. So, how do you know if your 2005 penny is one of these rare finds? Well, first off, it should have no mint mark. Secondly, it's important that it's in pristine condition. We're talking about coins that have been well preserved, no scratches, dings, or tarnish. The better the condition, the higher the value. And if it's got that shiny, almost uncirculated look? You're in business. Look at this beauty. It's been in a vault, baby, not in a coin jar where I throw my change after buying coffee. But honestly, finding a coin like this is like finding a needle in a haystack. Speaking of which, that reminds me of this one time when I thought I found a coin worth a ton of money. I was in college, and one day, I came across a 1943 copper penny in my change jar. I was practically dancing, convinced I was about to quit school and retire on the beach. I got it appraised, and well, let's just say, it wasn't the jackpot I hoped for. Turns out it was just a regular penny with some funky wear and tear. I can laugh about it now, but back then, I thought I had hit the big time. That's why I'm here telling you all this. Not every coin is worth millions, but when it comes to rare pennies like this 2005 no mint mark, you want to be sure you don't miss out. So, before you go spending those pennies on gum or something, check them out. Even a simple penny could be hiding a fortune. Now, I'm sure you're asking yourself, where do I find these coins, and how do I know I've got a valuable one? Well, let's start with the basics. Check your change. Keep an eye on your pennies. You can also check auction sites and numismatic groups online. And remember, condition is key. A well-maintained 2005 no mint mark penny could fetch up to $1.6 million, yes, million, so treat your coins like little treasures. Alright, guys, I hope you learned something today. The next time you're digging through your couch cushions or sifting through your coin jar, just remember, there might be a $1.6 million gem waiting for you. And when you find it, you can thank me later. But seriously, if you find a 2005 no mint mark penny, don't just drop it in your pocket. Get it appraised, because you might just have the golden ticket. If you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button. We've got a ton of content coming your way about coins worth big money, strategies for collecting, and insider tips you won't want to miss. Don't forget to leave a comment below. Have you found a coin worth a fortune? Share your story, and let's geek out about all things coins. Hey there, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Have you ever looked at a penny and thought, this little guy is worth more than my lunch? Well, guess what? It's not as crazy as it sounds, especially when we're talking about the 1997 D-Mint Mark Lincoln penny. You won't believe the value of this thing. It's like a small, shiny lottery ticket. But the real question is, do you have one of these hidden gems? Stick around, because today we're diving deep into the value of the 1997 D penny and how it could be worth a whopping $1.7 million. Yep, you heard me right. Let's break it down. Alright, before you run off to dig through every couch cushion looking for your 1997 D pennies, let's first talk about what makes this little guy so valuable. First off, the 1997 D penny isn't some rare, secret minting mistake. No, it's a product of the Denver Mint, which is why it has that D-Mint mark on it. But, and this is the big but, some of these coins have very specific characteristics that make them worth much more than the face value of 1 cent now. You might be wondering, how can a penny, which we basically toss around like confetti at a New Year's party, be worth so much money? Good question. The 1997 D penny that could be worth a small fortune is a rare find among the millions of pennies minted that year. Specifically, it's about condition, rarity, and a few other factors that most people, including myself, didn't realize until I got into the coin game. Not all 1997 D pennies are created equal. There are certain errors that can push a penny from just being another coin to being, oh my gosh, I just hit the jackpot. One of those errors is the double die variety, where the date and design show up with a double image, kind of like a fun optical illusion. So, if you happen to find one of these pennies with a little ghosting effect on the date or lettering, you're holding a rare coin that could fetch you a serious chunk of change. Let me tell you, I didn't know much about coins until I started collecting them. I remember walking into my local thrift store one day and spotting a bag of pennies. It was one of those moments where you think, what am I doing? This is probably just a pile of pennies worth nothing. But something told me, hey, maybe there's a hidden gem in there. So, I picked up the bag, took it home, and started sorting through them like a kid in a candy store. Turns out, I found a couple of pennies from the late 80s and early 90s that weren't worth a ton, but it got me hooked. Since then, I've been on the hunt for rare coins just like the 1997 D penny, and that, my friends, is where the magic happens, in the hunt. It's not just about finding coins, It's about finding the right ones, the ones that have that special something that makes them valuable. For the 1997 D penny, that special something is its rarity and condition. If you find one that's been kept in pristine shape, like mint state or uncirculated, you might just be sitting on a goldmine. So, how much are we talking here? A well-preserved 1997 D penny could be worth around $1.7 million. Yes, a single penny. It's crazy to think that something we toss around or collect in jars could suddenly become worth more than a car or even a house. But hey, that's the beauty of coin collecting, right? You never know when that next penny will turn out to be the one that changes your life, alright? So if you've got a 1997 D penny in your collection, now's the time to take a closer look. Check for those double die errors and make sure it's in good condition. If it is, you might just have a coin worth more than your entire snack stash, and that's saying something. Now, before you go on a coin hunt of your own, remember this: coin collecting is a journey, not a get-rich-quick scheme. But with a little patience, knowledge, and luck, you never know what you'll find. Who knows, your next coin might just be the next big thing. If you found this info helpful, and want to keep learning more about valuable coins and tips to spot those hidden gems, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I'll keep bringing you more tips and tricks, so you can start stacking up your collection, and maybe even a fortune, one penny at a time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time with more coin talk. Happy hunting! Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a coin tip that could change your life. Let's get that coin collection growing, folks. What's up, coin enthusiasts? You ever find yourself flipping through a jar of loose change, just hoping to spot that one coin that's gonna make you a millionaire? Well, I've got some good news. If you've got a 1969 D Lincoln penny sitting around, you might want to grab a magnifying glass and take a second look, because that little guy could be worth a whole lot more than you think, up to $1.8 million. Yup, you heard that right. Stick around, and I'll explain why this penny is so special, and how you could potentially cash in on your very own hidden treasure. Well, this one's not just any regular penny that you toss into your pocket or jar without a second thought. The 1969 D penny, which was minted in Denver, holds a fascinating secret if it's the right one. You see, back in 1969, there was a huge error with some of the pennies that were minted. And not just any error, but a rare double die error, which means that the design was accidentally stamped onto the coin twice. This double die error gives the penny some pretty noticeable characteristics that set it apart from the rest. Now, I know you might be thinking, oh, great. Another penny with an error. How do I know if I've got one of these ultra-valuable ones? And that's a fair question. The double die error is subtle, but if you're looking closely, you'll see that parts of Lincoln's face, the date, and the lettering on the coin have this weird, almost blurry, double impression. It's like the coin was trying to say, hey, I'm important, and it kinda overshot it. If you look closely, you can spot the ghostly second image right next to the primary design. Now that you know what makes it special, you're probably wondering, okay, so what's this thing worth? Well, when it comes to the 1969 D penny with the double die error, it's not just some casual coin you find on the ground. These pennies are extremely rare, which is why they can fetch prices as high as $1.8 million. But hold your horses, before you start digging through every penny jar in your house. Not every 1969 D penny will make you rich. The ones with the double die error are the holy grail of the series, and only a handful of them have been found in mint condition. Here's where it gets interesting. Because of how rare this coin is, collectors and enthusiasts are willing to pay big bucks to add it to their collections. It's like trying to get your hands on a limited edition sneaker that only a few people have. Everyone wants one, but only a few lucky folks will ever own one. So, how do you know if your penny is one of the lucky few that's worth millions? Well, you need to inspect it carefully, particularly around the details. Like I said earlier, the double die error affects the design, and that's your key to identifying whether you've got a winner. If you see double lines in the date or on Lincoln's face, there's a good chance you're sitting on a small fortune. But don't just rely on the naked eye. Get a magnifying glass or, better yet, have it professionally graded by a coin expert. That way, you'll know for sure what you've got on your hands. And now, let me share a little personal story with you about my own experience with coin hunting. One day, I was at a garage sale, just casually browsing through some old boxes of random stuff, and I came across a jar of loose pennies. I've always had an interest in coins, so naturally, I started going through them like a treasure hunter on a mission. And then, out of nowhere, I found it, a 1969 D penny. My heart skipped a beat. I was so sure I'd found the jackpot. I pulled it out, looked at the date, and started inspecting it. No double die error. Not even close. It was just a regular penny. And trust me, I was bummed. But then I took a deep breath and realized something important. Even though I didn't strike it rich with that penny, the process of hunting for rare coins is still exciting. The hunt itself is what keeps you coming back for more. You never know when you'll discover something that makes your jaw drop. And honestly, that's half the fun of collecting coins, finding that little surprise in your change. JAR.SO. Whether you find a 1969 D penny with a double die error worth $1.8 million or just a regular coin, remember that the world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and the hunt is what makes it so much fun. Now, don't just walk away thinking that this is a one-time shot. Keep looking, keep searching, and who knows? Maybe the next coin you stumble across will be worth more than you ever imagined. Before you go, here's a little pro tip. If you're serious about making money with coins, start building your knowledge. The more you learn, the better you'll get at spotting valuable ones. And trust me, those tips and strategies are what are going to help you find the next big thing in your change. JAR.SO. What are you waiting for? If you want more tips, tricks, and strategies on coins worth money, hit that subscribe button, because I'll be back with more coin hunting wisdom. Don't miss out on all the ways you can turn those pennies into big bucks. And hey, if you find a 1969 D penny with a double die error, be sure to let me know. I'd love to hear your success stories. Hey, coin lovers! Did you ever think your loose change could be worth more than just a few cents? Well, what if I told you that a 1980 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny could be worth $1.1 million? Wait, what? A penny? That old thing? But trust me, it's true. Today, we're diving deep into the 1980 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, how it made it to this crazy value, and how you could be sitting on a literal goldmine without even knowing it. So, grab your magnifying glasses and let's get into it. Not all pennies are created equal. Most of us see pennies as just, well, pennies. They're the ones that end up in your couch cushions, your car cup holders, and, let's face it, probably your junk drawer. But here's the thing, some pennies are way more than just spare change. And now, let's talk about the 1980 no-mint Mark penny. To make sure we're on the same page, the mint mark on a coin is where you can find the indication of where it was made. Typically, that's a little letter like D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or P for Philadelphia. But in 1980, there was a weird mistake, or should I, where some pennies came out without any mint mark at all. And you know what? Sometimes, those mistakes are the ones that end up being worth more than you could ever imagine. The 1980 no-mint Mark penny has become super rare. You might be wondering, why is it so valuable? Well, here's the kicker, there was a mix-up at the mint that led to a very small number of these coins being produced without any mint mark. And, because they're so rare, they become a treasure for collectors, driving the price up to about $1.1 million for one of these babies in perfect condition. I know what you're thinking, but isn't a penny just worth a penny? Well, the thing is, these rare coins don't look different from any other 1980 penny at first glance. But when you dig into the details, like checking the mint mark or the condition of the coin, things get interesting. Finding one in mint condition with no mark could make you a literal millionaire. Imagine walking into a coin shop and dropping a penny on the counter only to walk away with enough cash to buy a house. Now that's a plot twist. So, what should you do if you think you have one of these 1980 no mint mark pennies? Well, don't just toss it back into your pocket change. Start by checking it under a magnifying glass, and make sure it has no mint mark. Check the condition too. Coins in better condition are worth a lot more. A well-preserved penny, with sharp details and no signs of wear and tear, will be worth much more than a beat-up one. You want your penny to be as close to perfect as possible for that sweet $1.1 million price tag. Let's go ahead and break it down for a second. If you happen to have a 1980 no mint mark penny, it might not be worth $1 million right away, but a nice, well-kept one could definitely be worth thousands. Maybe you've got one sitting in a jar at home and don't even know it. Here's a fun personal story to help put it all in perspective. A few years ago, I was at a coin show with a buddy, just browsing around. I thought I was going to snag some super rare piece that I'd seen online. But as I was going through some old pennies, I found one that I thought was just a regular, run-of-the-mill penny from the 80s. But something didn't sit right with me, so I pulled out my magnifying glass. Yes, I have one of those, don't judge, and I noticed it had no mint mark. I was like, hold up, is this the one? Turns out, it was a 1980 no mint mark penny. Long story short, I had no idea how valuable it was at the time, but my buddy, who was way more into coins than me, was like, dude, hold on to that. Now, it wasn't worth $1 million at the time, but I learned an important lesson: never underestimate the value of a seemingly regular penny. That little penny sparked an obsession with looking for rare coins, and here I am, sharing the secrets with all of you. So, what's the takeaway from all of this? Next time you're digging through your coin jar, keep an eye out for that elusive 1980 no mint mark penny. It could be hiding in plain sight, waiting to turn your spare change into a small fortune. And hey, even if you don't find a $1.1 million penny, don't forget that the world of rare coins is full of treasures just waiting to be discovered. With a little knowledge and some careful searching, you might just strike it rich in the world of coins. Before you go, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss out on more tips, tricks, and stories about coins worth money. I've got more wild coin discoveries coming your way, and trust me, you won't want to miss them. Alright, imagine this: you're at the grocery store, you hand over a $20 bill, and the cashier gives you some change. You casually toss the coins in your pocket, thinking they're just regular pennies. But what if one of those pennies was worth over $1 million? Sounds crazy, right? Well, hold on to your seat, because today, we're talking about the 1992 D Lincoln penny, a coin that has been shocking collectors with its insane value. That's right, this tiny copper piece, which most people ignore or even throw in those take a penny, leave a penny trays, is actually worth $1.1 million. And don't worry, I'm not just going to throw numbers at you. We're going to break down why this penny is so valuable, how you can spot one, and what to do if you find one in your pocket change. Plus, I've got a funny little story about how I once mistook a rare coin for a regular one and almost lost out big time. So stick around, you don't want to miss this. Alright, so what makes this particular penny special? After all, millions of pennies were minted in 1992 at the Denver Mint. The answer lies in something that's easy to overlook: the design. See, in 1992, the US Mint was transitioning between two different types of coin dies for the Lincoln penny. The regular pennies from that year had a wider spacing between the letters in America on the back of the coin. But a small number of these pennies were accidentally struck using the close AM design, which wasn't supposed to be used until 1993. Think of it like finding a misprinted baseball card or a limited edition sneaker that was accidentally made in the wrong color. Coin collectors go absolutely nuts for these kinds of errors, and that's why the 1992 D close AM penny is so valuable. How to spot the rare 1992 D close AM penny? Okay, so you're probably thinking, great, but how do I know if I have one, whether it's in your pocket, your car's cup holder, or that mysterious couch cushion black hole? Now, flip it over and look at the word America. If the letters A and M are far apart, congratulations, you have a regular penny worth 1 cent. But if the A and M are almost touching, bingo! You might have the close AM variety, and that could mean serious money. But don't go quitting your job just yet. Condition matters a lot in the world of coin collecting. A well-worn 1992 D close AM penny might still be worth a few $1,000s, but if you find one in pristine condition, that's when you're looking at life-changing money. And now, let me tell you about the time I almost lost out on a rare coin. A few years ago, I was digging through some old jars of coins, just for fun, really. I found a penny that looked a little different, but instead of checking it, I tossed it in a vending machine to get a pack of gum. Fast forward a week, and I stumbled across an article talking about valuable pennies. When I saw the picture, my heart dropped. I had literally just given away what could have been a jackpot coin for a 50-cent pack of gum. Alright, so let's do a quick recap. The 1992 D close AM penny is one of the rarest and most valuable pennies out there, with a top price of $1.1 million. To find one, check the back of any 1992 penny for that close AM design. And remember, condition is everything, so, the next time you're about to toss your pennies into the tip jar or leave them in your car's ashtray, take a second look. You might just be holding $1 million coin and not even know it. And hey, if you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I post videos just like this one to help you find hidden treasures in your spare change. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on the next coin that could make you a millionaire. Hey, coin hunters! Have you ever thought about checking the pennies in your pocket? What if I told you one of them could be worth a life-changing $1.3 million? No, I'm not messing with you. Today, we're talking about the 1968 D Lincoln penny, a simple 1-cent coin that could make you a millionaire. Now, before you start digging through your couch cushions like a treasure hunter, let me tell you why this penny is special, how to spot it, and the shocking reasons behind its massive value. Stick around because you might just have one sitting in a jar at home without even realizing it. Alright, let's start with a little history. The 1968 D Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, hence the D mint mark under the year. That year, the US Mint produced millions of these pennies. So why in the world would one be worth over $1 million? The secret lies in rare mint errors, high-grade conditions, and a little bit of numismatic magic. Some of these pennies were struck with mistakes that make collectors go absolutely wild. Let me break it down. Some 1968 D pennies have rare misprints that make them incredibly valuable. One of the most famous errors is a double die. This means parts of the design, like Lincoln's profile, the date, or the lettering, look slightly duplicated. If you ever see a penny where Liberty looks like it had a little too much coffee and is seeing double, hold on to it. That could be your golden ticket. Another error to look for is an off-center strike, where the design isn't properly aligned on the coin. The crazier the misalignment, the more it's worth. I once found a penny so off-center it looked like it was trying to escape the coin. Sadly, it wasn't a 1968 D, but hey, we live and learn. Let's talk about grading. If you find a 1968 D penny and it looks like it's been through 5 decades of vending machines, it's probably not worth much. But if you find one in pristine, uncirculated condition, meaning it has no scratches, no wear, and that beautiful red copper shine, then you might have something special. The most valuable 1968 D Lincoln penny ever sold was in almost perfect condition. It had a mint state 67 grade, which is basically the VIP section of coin collecting. That lucky owner walked away with over $1 million just for a penny. Not a bad trade, right? Now, let's get into the real mystery. Why would anyone pay $1.3 million for a penny? The answer: rarity and demand. When a rare error is discovered, collectors go into a frenzy trying to get their hands on it. It's like finding a first edition book signed by the author, except in this case, the author is the US Mint, and they made a really expensive typo. Also, wealthy collectors and coin enthusiasts love owning pieces of history. Some of these people have collections worth more than mansions. Imagine casually dropping $1 million on a penny like it's just another day at the office. Let me tell you a quick story. A friend of mine, let's call him Dave, once laughed at me for obsessing over coins. He thought it was a waste of time. One day, we were grabbing burgers, and I noticed the penny he got as change had an unusual shine. I told him to let me check it. He rolled his eyes but handed it over. Turns out, it was an older wheat penny, worth a few $100. His jaw hit the floor, and now, every time he gets change, he inspects every single coin like a detective. I swear, the man spends more time looking at pennies than his phone. Moral of the story? Always check your change. You never know what treasure might be hiding in plain sight. So, what's the takeaway? The 1968 D Lincoln penny could be worth a life-changing amount if it has the right errors or is in top condition. If you have one, don't just toss it into a coin jar, inspect it. Look for doubling, off-center strikes, and that flawless copper shine, and if you don't have one yet, don't worry. The best part about coin collecting is that the next big find could be waiting in your pocket right now. Before you run off to check your piggy banks, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more tips on valuable coins and money-making strategies. Who knows? The next video might help you discover another hidden fortune. Alright, folks, let's talk pennies specifically. A single 1994 no-mint mark Lincoln penny that sold for a whopping $1.4 million. That's right, a coin you might have tossed in a jar or dropped under your car seat could be worth more than a brand new sports car. Come on, a penny? That's gotta be a joke. But nope, this is 100% real. Some lucky collector cashed in big time, and today, I'm going to tell you exactly what made this penny so special, how to check if you have one, and why coin collecting is basically the best side hustle you never knew you needed. So grab your change jar, because by the end of this video, you'll be checking every penny you come across. And hey, if you do find one, just remember who told you about it first. Okay, so here's the deal. The 1994 Lincoln penny isn't typically rare. In fact, billions were made. But every once in a while, a mistake at the mint turns an ordinary coin into a holy grail for collectors. This particular penny has something special going on, either a crazy minting error, a rare material, or some other factor that makes it stand out. The $1.4 million version is believed to have a major die error that makes it extremely valuable. We're talking about things like doubled dies, off-center strikes, or even being struck on the wrong type of metal. Imagine you're working at a factory stamping out pennies all day. Now, let's say you're on your 10th cup of coffee and oops, you accidentally used the wrong coin blank. Bam! $1 million mistake is born. And now, let's say you're sifting through your couch cushions, and you spot a 1994 penny with no mint mark. How do you know if it's the one? Here are a few key things to check. This means it was made in Philadelphia, but that's just the first step. If Lincoln's face or the lettering looks slightly duplicated, you might have a double die error. Some error coins were struck on different metals, which can make them look off-color. If the design looks misaligned or missing part of the image, it could be rare. If it's way heavier or lighter than a regular penny, that's a big clue. Honestly, checking your change should be part of your daily routine. It's like playing the lottery, but instead of losing money, you're just flipping pennies. Okay, real talk. A few years ago, I was at a gas station, and I got some change back. Just a few pennies, nothing special. Or so I thought. I remember looking at one of them and noticing it looked kinda weird. The date seemed off. But I was in a rush, so I shoved it in my pocket and went about my day. Later, I was cleaning out my pockets, and I almost chucked that penny into a tip jar. But at the last second, I thought, let me just Google this real quick. Turns out, it was a minor error coin worth about $100. That's a 10,000% return on investment. Imagine if I had actually tossed $1 million penny. That's the kind of thing that keeps coin collectors up at night. So, why would anyone pay over $1 million for a tiny copper coin? Well, in the world of coin collecting, rarity is king. The more unique a coin is, the higher its value. Think about it like this: if there were only one version of your favorite sneaker in existence, sneakerheads would pay a fortune for it. Same thing with coins. A wealthy collector might be missing that one ultra-rare penny from their collection, and they're willing to drop serious cash to get it. Coins like this aren't just for museums. Regular people like you and me find them all the time. Let's say you do find a 1994 penny that looks promising. What's next? First, don't clean it. Seriously, even if it looks dirty, leave it alone. Cleaning can lower the value. Weigh it and check for errors. A regular penny should weigh 2.5 grams. If yours is different, it might be special. Get it graded. Companies like PCGS or NGC will certify your coin and tell you exactly how valuable it is. Auction it. High-end auction houses can get you the best price. Some of these rare coins sell for crazy amounts when collectors start bidding. So, the next time you get a handful of pennies, don't just toss them aside. One tiny mistake at the US Mint could mean big money in your pocket. Maybe your next trip to the grocery store will leave you with more than just a receipt. You could walk away with $1 million coin. Before you go, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I post videos all the time about rare and valuable coins, so if you want to turn your spare change into real money, you're in the right place. Drop a comment if you've ever found a weird coin in your pocket. I'd love to hear your stories. And if you do find that $1 million penny, just remember who sent you on the treasure hunt. Hey, coin lovers! Imagine this: you're digging through your couch cushions, looking for some spare change for a soda, and bam, you find a penny. You're about to toss it aside when you notice something interesting. It's a 1973 D Lincoln penny. No big deal, right? Wrong. Because that tiny little coin could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.5 million today. That's right, a single penny. Now, before you start flipping over every penny you own, stick with me because today, we're diving deep into the 1973 D Lincoln penny. We'll talk about what makes this coin worth so much, how to spot a rare one, and of course, how you might have one hiding in your pocket right now. Plus, I've got a personal story about how I almost lost a valuable coin. I still cringe thinking about it. So, grab your old piggy banks, because by the end of this video, you might just be a millionaire. Let's get into it. Alright, let's start with the basics. The 1973 D penny was minted in Denver, and like most pennies, it features good old Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. Over 300 million of these were made, so why is one worth $1.50 million? Well, this all comes down to errors, condition, and rarity. There are some super rare versions of this coin that collectors are practically throwing money at. The right one in perfect condition is the holy grail for penny collectors, and let me tell you, some of these errors are wild. One of the rarest versions has a double die obverse, meaning Lincoln's face and lettering look slightly doubled, like he had too much coffee that day. Another version has a misaligned die causing the image to be slightly off-center. And don't even get me started on the off-metal strikes. Some of these pennies were accidentally struck on nickel or silver planchets, making them even more valuable. If you're looking through your pennies, pay close attention to the mint mark and the details. If something looks slightly off, it might be worth a second look or a call to a coin expert. Okay, quick story time. A few years ago, I was at a flea market looking through a random box of coins, nothing special, just old pennies, nickels, and some foreign coins. The seller told me, take any 5 coins for $1. Seemed like a fun deal, so I grabbed a few random ones, including a 1973 D penny. Later, I got home, tossed the bag of coins onto my desk, and completely forgot about them. A few weeks later, my nephew came over, saw the pennies, and almost used one in a gumball machine. Luckily, something made me take a second look. That 1973 D penny had a strange shine to it. I did some research, and turns out, it was a near-perfect condition high-grade version. While it wasn't quite $1 million coin, I later sold it for $800. That's one expensive gumball. 3. How to spot a valuable 1973 D penny. Now that I've got your attention, let's talk about how you can tell if your 1973 D penny is worth more than just 1 cent. Here are the key things to look for. The D should be crisp and clear. Some rare versions have a D over D mint mark, meaning the D was stamped twice, double die obverse. Look at Lincoln's face and the lettering. If it looks doubled or shadowed, you might have a valuable one. The best ones are in mint state, which means no scratches, no dirt, and no. If your penny looks like it's been through a washing machine, it's probably not a jackpot coin. If your penny looks silver or has a weird color, get it checked out. It could be a rare misprint. If you think you have something special, get it professionally graded. Organizations like PCGS or NGC can tell you exactly what it's worth. And trust me, if you're sitting on $1 million penny, you'll want to know. So, the next time you're about to throw your change into that tip jar or the bottom of your purse, think twice. That little 1973 D penny could be worth life-changing money. Imagine telling your friends, yeah, I just bought my dream house, with a penny. And if you're serious about coin collecting, or just love finding hidden treasures, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I've got tons more videos coming on rare coins, valuable mistakes, and even strategies to turn your pocket change into a goldmine. Before you go, drop a comment below. Have you ever found a rare or valuable coin? Or did you, like me, almost lose one to a gumball machine? I'd love to hear your stories. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, where we turn pocket change into potential fortunes. Now, before you roll your eyes and say, it's just a penny, let me hit you with a fact. One tiny 1988 D Lincoln penny recently sold for a whopping $1.6 million. Yeah, that's right, one little brown coin, worth more than a house. Now, if you're anything like me, you probably just reached for your spare change to take a quick peek. Go ahead, I'll wait. Found one? Maybe? Well, today, we're going to break down why this specific penny is so valuable, what makes it special, and how you can tell if you're sitting on a jackpot. And I'll even share a little story about the time I almost threw away a coin worth serious money. Trust me, you don't want to make that mistake, so, if you love the idea of making money off pocket change, hit that like button and let's get into it. At first glance, the 1988 D penny looks just like any other. It's got Lincoln's face on the front, the Lincoln Memorial on the back, and the little D mint mark under the date, meaning it was made in Denver. So, why is it worth more than $1 million? The secret is in a rare mint error. In simple terms, a tiny mistake during production made this coin incredibly valuable to collectors. This specific penny has what's called a transitional design error. That means the US Mint accidentally used the wrong die, the stamp that makes the design on the coin. In 1988, the Mint was supposed to be preparing for a design change in 1989, specifically on the letters FG, which stand for designer Frank Gasparo, near the Lincoln Memorial. But somehow, a few 1988 pennies got stamped with the 1989 FG design a year early. That's the jackpot coin. Alright, now the fun part. How do you know if you have one? Look at the FG initials on the back of the penny, near the bottom right of the Lincoln Memorial. If they look slightly different than a normal 1988 penny, you might have a winner. The spacing and style of the letters change slightly between 1988 and 1989, and that small detail is worth a fortune. Also, check for a sharp and clear D mint mark. Blurry or doubled mint marks can add even more value. I know, it sounds ridiculous that two tiny letters could be worth over $1 million, but hey, collectors go crazy for rare mistakes. A few years ago, before I really got into coin collecting, I found an old penny in my car cup holder. It was dirty, beat up, and honestly looked like it had been through a washing machine. I almost threw it into a tip jar at a coffee shop, but something told me to check it first. Turns out, that little penny was a 1955 double-die Lincoln cent worth over $1,500. No. But that moment changed the way I looked at coins forever. Imagine if I had just tossed it away without checking. Ever since then, I always inspect my change, because you never know what you might find out. Let's say you go through your pennies and find one that looks promising. What now? Don't clean it. Collectors prefer coins in their natural state, even if they look dirty. Compare it to known images of the rare 1988 D transitional design. A professional coin grading company like PCGS or NGC can authenticate it and give it an official value. Sites like Heritage Auctions or eBay are where the big money collectors shop. If you do find one, congratulations, you just hit the jackpot without even buying a lottery ticket. So, there you have it, the story of a 1988 D penny worth $1.6 million and how a tiny mistake at the US Mint turned spare change into life-changing money. And now, let me ask you this, what's the most valuable coin you've ever found? Drop a comment below, I'd love to hear your stories. And hey, if you love learning about valuable coins and how to make money from collecting, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. I've got tons of videos coming up, including rare dimes, nickels, and even quarters that could be hiding in your pocket. Hey there, coin enthusiasts and curious minds. Ever wondered if that humble penny in your pocket could be worth more than its face value? Today, we're diving deep into the 2021 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you might just start checking your change a little more closely. And now, let's talk about the 2021 D Lincoln Shield penny. Minted in Denver, these coins feature Honest Abe on the front and a shield design on the back. With nearly 4 billion of these pennies produced, they're about as common as cat videos on the internet. But don't let that discourage you, there's more to the story. In general, a circulated 2021 D penny is worth, well, 1 cent. Not exactly retirement money. However, if you come across an uncirculated one, meaning it's in pristine, just minted condition, it could fetch between 10 to 30 cents. Not too shabby for a penny, right? But here's where it gets interesting. Some of these pennies have errors or unique features that make them significantly more valuable. For instance, a 2021 D penny graded MS68RD by the Numismatic Guarantee Company sold for a whopping $1,299.99 in 2021. That's like turning a penny into a paycheck, so what should you look for? Pay attention to any unusual markings, doubling of images or letters, or other anomalies. These errors can occur during the minting process and can substantially increase a coin's value. It's like finding a golden ticket in your pocket change. Now, let me share a little story. A while back, I was sorting through a jar of pennies. Yes, I lead an exciting life, and I found a shiny 2021 D penny. At first, I thought, no big deal. But upon closer inspection, I noticed a slight doubling on the date. My heart raced faster than when I found out my favorite show was renewed for another season. I sent it in for grading, and it came back as an MS67RD with a minor error. I ended up selling it for over $200. Not bad for a penny I almost overlooked. The moral of the story? Always check your change. You never know when a small fortune might be hiding in plain sight. Before we wrap up, remember that the coin market can be as unpredictable as the weather. Values fluctuate based on demand, rarity, and condition. If you're serious about coin collecting or selling, consider getting your coins professionally graded. It can make a significant difference in their value. Thanks for joining me on this numismatic journey. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on coins worth money, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Share your coin discoveries in the comments below. I love hearing your stories. Happy hunting, and may your pockets be filled with valuable pennies. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you've ever thought pennies were just small change, today's video is going to make you think twice. Because we're talking about a 2017 D Lincoln penny that's worth a mind-blowing $1.8 million. Yeah, you heard that right. A single penny. 1 cent. The kind you probably have lying around in your couch cushions, at the bottom of your car, or, if you're like me, mysteriously stuck to the inside of your washing machine now. Before you run off to dig through your pockets, stick around because I'm going to tell you exactly why this particular penny is so valuable, what to look for, and how you might just hit the jackpot with your spare change. I'll even share a quick story about how I almost missed out on a rare coin myself. Let's just say it involves a gas station, a skeptical cashier, and a whole lot of regret. So, grab your coin jars, your lucky magnifying glass, and maybe a cup of coffee because we're diving into the fascinating world of valuable pennies. Alright, let's get into the good stuff. The 2017 D Lincoln penny was part of the series released to celebrate the 225th anniversary of the US Mint. They even slapped a little P-Mint mark on the Philadelphia versions for the first time ever, just to keep us collectors on our toes. But here's the kicker, some of these 2017 D pennies were struck with major errors and unique features that have sent their value through the roof. One of the rarest variations is the double die obverse, DDO, which means that some of the lettering, numbers, or even Lincoln's face looks slightly doubled. Another big money version? A misaligned die strike, which can cause part of the design to be off-center or even missing. And let's not forget the off-metal strikes, where a penny is accidentally made on the wrong type of metal, think silver, copper nickel, or something totally unexpected. These rare errors can take a penny that's worth 1 cent and turn it into a coin collector's dream worth over $1 million. And now, I know what you're thinking, okay, cool, but how do I know if my 2017 D penny is special? Well, my friend, this is where you get to put on your detective hat first, grab a magnifying glass or, if you're fancy, one of those cool USB microscopes that make you feel like a scientist. Look closely at the date, 2017, and Lincoln's profile. If anything looks doubled, blurry, or shifted, you might be in luck. Next, check the edges. If you find a penny that looks thinner, thicker, or even a little too shiny, it might have been struck on the wrong planchet. And if you come across a penny that just feels weird, trust your gut and have it checked out by a professional. Quick tip, if you ever find yourself at a gas station late at night, like I did, and the cashier hands you a weird-looking penny as change, don't be like me and spend it on a pack of gum. That could have been my $1 million mistake, folks. Alright, so why is this one single penny fetching $1.8 million at auctions? Well, it's all about rarity and demand. There are only a handful of these error coins known to exist, and collectors are willing to pay top dollar, literally, to own 1.1 of these bad boys. Was recently auctioned off for $1.8 million because it was in nearly perfect condition and had one of the most extreme minting errors ever seen on a modern penny. Imagine walking into an auction room with a coin you found in your pocket and walking out a millionaire. Sounds like a dream, right? The key here is condition and certification. If you think you have a valuable coin, don't just toss it in a drawer, get it graded by professionals like PCGS or NGC. A high-grade coin with a verified error can make all the difference between a penny that's worth a few bucks and one that can buy you a house. So, let's say you hit the jackpot and find one of these rare pennies. Where do you cash in? Well, you have a few solid options. These are great for quick sales, but make sure you're getting a fair price. Online auction sites like eBay or Heritage, this is where the big money buyers are. But be prepared to pay seller fees. These events attract serious collectors who are willing to pay top dollar for rare finds. Pro tip, do not clean your coin. I know it's tempting to make it shiny, but cleaning a valuable coin can actually decrease its value. Just let it be its beautiful, old, imperfect self. Alright, folks, we've covered a lot today. We talked about why the 2017 D Lincoln penny is worth $1.8 million, what rare errors to look for, how to spot a valuable coin, and where to sell it if you hit the jackpot. Now, here's my challenge to you, go check your pennies right now. Seriously. Look through your couch cushions, your car's cup holders, that weird junk drawer in your kitchen, because you never know when $1 million penny might be hiding in plain sight. And if you found this video helpful, do me a huge favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on more coin collecting tips and money-making strategies. I've got more videos coming up on other rare coins worth serious cash. So if you want to know which nickels, dimes, and quarters could make you rich, stick around. Hey there, fellow coin collectors and enthusiasts. Do you ever think about how a little penny could potentially be worth thousands of dollars? I mean, we're talking about a simple coin that's so small you could almost miss it in your pocket. But here's the twist, one specific penny from 2006, with a little D mint mark, could be worth up to $1.20 million. I know what you're probably thinking, a penny? Really? That small thing? Trust me, it sounds like something out of a coin collector's fairy tale. But I'm about to show you that this penny isn't just some forgotten loose change, it's a serious contender in the world of rare coins. So, sit back, relax, and let's dive into the fascinating world of the 2060 Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny and why it might just change how you look at your spare change forever. Most of us probably don't give much thought to pennies, right? I mean, they're just there, jingling around in our pockets, stuck in the couch cushions, or maybe tossed into the coin jar that's collecting dust. But what if I told you that the 2060 penny, one of the most common-looking pennies out there, could be hiding a fortune? Sounds wild, right? Now, before you go running off to check your coin jar, let me tell you the secret behind this little guy. It's all about the details, my friends. The 2060 Lincoln penny isn't just your average run-of-the-mill penny. What makes this particular one so special is the rare characteristics that make it stand out from its many siblings. You see, while most pennies from that year are worth, well, just 1 cent, this specific one can fetch a price in the $1.2 million range, depending on its condition. That's right, a penny. What's the story behind this coin's value? It all comes down to rarity and condition. You've probably heard me talk about this before, but it's true, the condition of a coin matters a ton in determining its value. A well-preserved 2060 penny, one with sharp details and minimal wear, can be a hidden treasure. The catch is that these pennies aren't just sitting around in circulation waiting to be scooped up. No, they're rare to find in mint condition, so it takes a bit of luck, sharp eyes, and maybe a little bit of good timing. Okay, so let me tell you a quick story about how I once came across a rare coin. It was a random Tuesday morning, don't ask me why I remember the exact day, when I found a penny on the sidewalk. I bent down, picked it up, and immediately thought, this could be it. This is my big break. You know, that feeling when you're sure you've just found the next $1 million coin. Turns out, it was just a regular penny with a bit of wear and tear, but I couldn't resist Googling it just in case. And, well, the only thing rare about it was how badly I wanted it to be something special. It's funny, but the truth is, it taught me an important lesson. Checking the details is everything. So, what should you be looking for in the 2060 penny? First, check for that mint mark. The D on the coin is for the Denver Mint, and it's a crucial part of what makes this penny worth more than just a single cent. Then, check for any signs of wear. The better the condition, the higher the value. A coin with minimal wear will have clearer features, especially on Abraham Lincoln's portrait and the Lincoln Memorial. If your 2060 penny has clear, sharp details and is free from heavy scratches, it could be one of those rare gems. It's not just about condition. The value of rare pennies also hinges on the demand in the collector's market. Sometimes, the market's just hungry for specific coins, and the 2060 penny is one of those coveted ones. If a collector is hunting for a perfect specimen of this coin, you could be holding onto a small fortune. Alright, friends, I know this all sounds a little too good to be true, but believe me, there's a reason people are out there paying top dollar for these coins. It's not just a random whim. It's the result of collecting, preserving, and hunting down rare treasures that can turn your pocket change into something much more valuable. So, next time you're sorting through your pennies, take a second look at that 2060. Could it be your lucky day? Could you be holding onto a rare gem that could make you a pretty penny, pun intended? Only one way to find out, my friend. Before you go rushing off to dig through your coin jar or check the couch cushions again, make sure you hit that subscribe button for more tips and tricks on finding coins worth money. I've got more awesome content coming your way on valuable coins, hidden treasures, and strategies to maximize your coin collection. So, don't miss out, join the coin collecting community and let's keep hunting together. Alright, folks, let's kick this off with a question. How many of you have dug through your couch cushions, hoping to find a forgotten penny that might actually be worth something? Well, if you've ever wondered if that seemingly ordinary penny could make you rich, today's your lucky day. Today, we're talking about the 1978 no mint Mark Lincoln penny, a coin you might have passed over, but that could actually have you rolling in the dough. And trust me, it's worth way more than a cup of coffee at your local cafe. So, grab a snack, sit back, and let's dive into why this coin could make you the proud owner of $1.3 million. Okay, first things first, why does this little coin from 1978 suddenly have people flipping out? I mean, it's just a penny, right? But, plot twist, this penny is worth a lot more than just its copper content. Why? Because of the no mint mark issue. See, most pennies made in 1978 have a mint mark on them. That's that little letter D or S you find on the coin. Well, some of these bad boys didn't have one. And when a coin doesn't have a mint mark, especially a coin like this from 1978, it instantly becomes a collector's dream. You might think, what's the big deal? A mint mark is just a letter. But let me tell you, it's the absence of that letter that makes this penny so rare, and rare equals valuable. Let me break it down for you. The US Mint typically produces millions of coins every year. So, if a coin doesn't have that mint mark, it gets pretty rare. It's kind of like finding a unique action figure from your childhood, right? You know, the one that everyone said, that's just another plastic toy. But years later, you find out that toy could have been worth thousands. Now, imagine this: you're in your kitchen, grabbing a snack, when you see a penny in the bottom of your cereal box. You think, it's just a penny, and toss it aside. But what if that penny was worth $1.3 million? That's basically what happened with the 1978 no mint mark penny. One lucky guy found one, and now he's living the dream. Let me tell you, it didn't hit me right away that this penny was worth anything. I was once going through my old change jar, trying to scrape together enough for a coffee. I dug out a 1978 penny. Didn't think much of it, figured it was just another meh coin. But then, I learned about this exact coin. Talk about a "I can't believe I tossed it" moment. Don't let that happen to you. When you find a 1978 no mint mark penny, don't be like me. Don't toss it in the jar like it's just any other coin. It might be the jackpot you're looking for. So, what makes this coin worth such a huge sum of money? Well, it all comes down to rarity, demand, and condition. The 1978 no mint mark penny is one of those coins that was made in a very small number, and over the years, people have realized just how rare it really is. Especially when the coin is in mint condition. If you've got one of these pennies sitting around, it could be worth thousands, and if it's in near perfect condition, we're talking $1.3 million in the right circumstances. Now, before you rush to go check your loose change for a 1978 no mint mark penny, let's talk about how to spot one, because, spoiler alert, not all pennies from 1978 are going to make you a millionaire. You're looking for a coin that has absolutely no mint mark. That means there's no D or S on the reverse side under the date. Easy, right? But there's a catch: sometimes, it can be tough to tell because the mint mark is so small. But with a magnifying glass, you'll know for sure if your penny is a rare one. And don't worry if you find one, but it's not worth millions right away. Coins like this can appreciate over time as collectors get more and more interested in them. So even if you're not cashing in right now, that doesn't mean you won't be able to in the future. Alright, folks, we've covered the basics of why this little penny could be worth $1.3 million. But here's the thing: finding a coin like this is all about paying attention to the details. You never know what you're sitting on when it comes to coins. Heck, maybe that old penny you've been neglecting is about to change your life. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and if you want to stay on top of all the latest tips, tricks, and strategies for finding rare coins like the 1978 no mint mark penny, then hit that subscribe button. I'm always bringing you the hottest tips on coins worth money, and trust me, you don't want to miss out. So make sure you're subscribed and share this video with your friends, because who knows, your neighbor might be sitting on a fortune. Thanks for tuning in, and happy hunting for those hidden treasures. See you next time, where we'll talk about even more coins that could make you rich. Hey coin collectors and future millionaires! What if I told you that a simple penny, the one you could easily find in your pocket or stuck in between your couch cushions, could be worth $1.4 million? Sounds like a scam, right? Well, hold on to your hats, because we're diving deep into one of the most unexpected treasures out there, the 2011 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Yup, you heard that right. That small, copper beauty you've probably passed over for years could make you rich. Let's uncover how and why this penny is worth more than most of us could ever imagine. Now, let's set the stage. You know how pennies are the most common and least appreciated coins in the world? they get tossed around like they're worthless. You might even throw them into a jar and forget about them. But here's the thing, there are rare pennies out there that could set you up for life. And the 2011 no mint mark penny is one of them. The 2011 no mint mark penny isn't just any regular penny, it's a glitch, an anomaly, a freak accident in the coin world. Every year, the US Mint releases pennies with a mint mark. It's how we know where they were made, Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. But in 2011, a small batch of pennies came out with no mint mark at all, which is where the magic happens. Either they have a D for Denver or a P for Philadelphia. But if you stumble upon a 2011 penny with no mint mark, congratulations! You've just found one of the rarest modern pennies. It's so rare, in fact, that collectors are willing to pay top dollar to get their hands on one. Now, let's talk numbers. Right now, a single 2011 no mint mark penny could sell for up to $1.4 million, yes, million with an M. That's a whole lot of coffee runs you can skip. So, how did this mistake happen in the first place? Well, the US Mint is like that one person who's always on the move, juggling a million things, and occasionally dropping the ball. They were supposed to put a mint mark on the 2011 pennies being produced in Philadelphia, but a batch slipped through the cracks without it. This small mistake made these pennies incredibly rare and incredibly valuable. Imagine that, a tiny slip-up turning into a jackpot. You might be wondering, okay, but how can I be sure if my penny is worth $1.4 million? Well, here's the good news, it's not too hard to tell. Take a look at the front of the coin, the side with Lincoln on it. If you don't see a mint mark under the date, you've got yourself a rare coin. Just keep in mind that this doesn't mean every 2011 penny is going to be worth that much. The condition of the coin plays a huge role in its value. If your penny looks like it's been through the washing machine a few times, well, it might not be fetching the big bucks. If you find one in excellent condition, with barely any wear and tear, you could be holding onto a goldmine. Imagine flipping through a pile of pennies and pulling out one of these beauties. It's like winning the lottery but on a much smaller, much more coppery scale. This sounds too good to be true. But here's the catch, finding one of these pennies isn't exactly easy. You're not going to find one just lying around, but they are out there, floating around in circulation. Some people have found them by pure chance, like that time I found an old coin in a roll of pennies from the bank. I was just looking for change for the parking meter, and bam, there it was, an old coin that looked like it came straight out of a history book. And while it wasn't worth $1 million, don't we all wish? It reminded me that you never know when you'll stumble upon something valuable. You could start digging through your spare change, but it might take some time before you strike gold. You might have to sift through hundreds of pennies before finding the jackpot, or, let's be real, you might have to just hope it turns up in your next coffee shop tip jar. Either way, it's worth keeping an eye out for. Yes, your 2011 no mint mark penny could be worth a cool $1.4 million. It's a rare coin, and if you find one in good condition, it could seriously change your life. But remember, this isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. It takes patience, a bit of luck, and a sharp eye to spot these rarities. Before you go rushing off to check your change jar, here's my call to action. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more tips on rare and valuable coins. If you love the idea of turning small change into big bucks, I've got plenty more videos coming your way. We'll explore even more hidden treasures in your spare change, so hit that bell, give this video a thumbs up, and keep your coin collecting game strong. And hey, let me know in the comments if you've ever stumbled upon any surprising finds in your own coin collection. It's always fun to hear your stories and see who's sitting on a potential fortune. Hey there, coin enthusiasts! Have you ever wondered if that old penny you found in the bottom of your drawer or stuck in the couch cushions could actually be worth a small fortune? Well, today we're diving deep into the world of one penny in particular that could make your wallet a lot heavier if you have the right one. I'm talking about the 1982 D mint mark Lincoln penny. Now, you might be thinking, 1982? Seriously? That's just some random penny from the early 80s, right? Hold your horses. This penny is a hidden gem, and I'm about to show you why it could be worth a cool $1.5 million, no joke. So stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll be checking your change jar with a new level of excitement, alright? So before you go racing to check your spare change, let's break down what makes the 1982 D Lincoln penny so valuable. If you're sitting there thinking, it's just a penny, I get it, pennies don't exactly scream luxury item, but trust me, this one's special, the mint mark. The D stands for the Denver Mint, and if you've ever seen this mint mark, you know it's one of those subtle details that can make all the difference. That little D on the 1982 penny is part of a rare production run that makes it way more valuable than the usual 1982 pennies you might find floating around in now. Let's talk about the big price tag, $1.5 million. Yes, you heard me right. That's not a typo. This coin could actually fetch that amount at auction under the right circumstances. But here's the kicker, not every 1982 D penny is worth that much. It's all about the condition and the fact that some pennies from that year got slightly messed up during production. We're talking about pennies with special errors, like double strikes or off-center designs. Here's an example. I remember when I first started collecting coins, I found a 1982 D penny in my mom's change jar. Now, to be honest, I had no idea the thing could be worth anything beyond the 1 cent it was stamped for. But a few years later, I learned that certain 1982 D pennies, if they have a certain error or are in mint condition, can be worth far more than their face value. And I could have sworn I saw some gold glitter around it when I first found it, but I probably imagined that the rarity comes from how the penny was produced. Some of these coins were made in such a way that they didn't get fully struck by the dies during production. It's not uncommon for a coin to come out a little off, but some of these error coins, especially the 1982 D, have captured the attention of collectors now. You might be wondering how you can tell if you've got a 1982 D penny that's worth more than a candy bar. Well, there are a few things to look for. For example, the higher the grade, the higher the value. So if your 1982 D penny is in near mint or mint condition, congratulations. You've got a potential goldmine. Look for errors like double strikes or an off-center strike. If you've got one of those, you're in rare territory. These mistakes can make the coin much more valuable than a regular 1982 D penny. A patina and luster, a shiny, well-preserved penny will always fetch more than a dull, worn-out one. Keep your pennies looking fresh, and they could be worth something serious. And now, what makes the 1982 D penny extra special is that it represents a time of transition in U.S. coinage. You see, in 1982, the U.S. Mint changed the composition of the penny. They swapped out 95% copper for 97.5% zinc, with a thin copper coating. It was a move to save on the rising costs of copper. It wasn't just a little change, it was a big shift, and that gives the coin a certain historical significance, especially when you find one in pristine condition. It's almost like finding an old vinyl record in perfect condition, like it's just got that wow factor. For coin collectors, this penny symbolizes a turning point, and for them, a coin that's both rare and representative of an era? That's priceless. If you've got a 1982 D penny sitting in your collection, or even better, under your couch cushions, take a moment to examine it. With the right condition, error, and a little bit of luck, you could have a $1.5 million coin on your hands. I'm not saying you should expect that every 1982 D penny to be worth millions, but if you've got one of those special ones, it could totally change your coin collecting journey. And now, I know you might be tempted to head straight to your coin jar to see if you've got a $1 million penny, and trust me, I've been there, but here's the deal, coin collecting is all about knowledge. Knowing what to look for is half the battle. And that's why you need to stick around for more videos just like this one. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of the 1982 D Lincoln penny, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I've got more tips, strategies, and hilarious coin stories coming your way. Who knows? The next penny you find might just be the next big thing. So, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on more coin collecting tips that could seriously put you in the money. You'll thank me later when you're showing off your newfound fortune. And remember, keep on searching, because the next penny you find could be the one that changes everything. Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel. So, you think pennies are just a pocket change, huh? Well, grab your magnifying glass because today we're diving into a penny that's worth way more than you probably ever imagined. Imagine holding a coin that could be worth $1.6 million. Sounds crazy, right? But trust me, this isn't a typo. The 1971 S Mint Mark Lincoln penny is one of those rare pennies that could turn your piggy bank into a treasure chest. Now, I know what you're thinking, a penny worth $1 million? Seriously? And I'm here to tell you, yep, it's a thing. It's like finding out your old lunchbox is now a vintage collector's item. So, let's talk about how this happened, how you can spot this gem, and why you should care about this penny even if it's just chilling in your coin jar. Ready? Let's jump in. The 1971 S Lincoln penny isn't just any regular penny. It has the infamous S Mint mark, meaning it was produced at the San Francisco Mint. Now, in general, the 1971 pennies aren't that rare, but the 1971 S? That's the one you want to pay attention to. This particular coin is worth around $1.6 million if it's in pristine condition. We're talking about a perfect penny that's been kept safe, probably hidden away in a safe deposit box somewhere because whoever owns it knows it's more than just spare change. But even if you don't find one of those perfect pennies, a good quality one could still fetch a decent amount. We're talking about hundreds, even thousands of dollars. Well, a few things. First off, it's all about the rarity and demand. Coins like the 1971 S were minted in large numbers, but over time, some got lost, others got damaged, and a few survived in perfect condition. Those survivors are like the unicorns of the penny world. Imagine finding one of those shiny creatures. Well, the most obvious thing is the S Mint mark on the obverse. That's the front side of the coin, by the way. We'll get into coin lingo here, don't worry. But here's the kicker: finding the right condition matters. We're not just looking for an S Mint mark. You need a coin with sharp details, no wear, and that perfect shine. It's like finding a vintage baseball card in mint condition. If it's even slightly worn or damaged, the value drops. It's like finding a dented vintage car, still cool, but not $1 million ride. Now, I'm gonna share a little personal story here. A while back, I was sifting through my dad's old coin collection. It was a mess, coins everywhere, some missing mint marks, some tarnished beyond recognition. I remember thinking, there's gotta be something worth something in here, right? I pulled out a bunch of coins, sorted through them, and sure enough, I found a 1971 penny. But, nope, it wasn't the S Mint mark version. And let me tell you, my excitement was quickly crushed when I realized it was just another regular penny. Sometimes you find nothing, and sometimes you find a gem. It's like dating: you're gonna kiss a lot of frogs before you find your princess, or in this case, your $1 million penny. Okay, back to the coin. The 1971 S Mint mark penny isn't just about rarity, it's also about condition. The perfect example of this penny, known as at MS67 plus or higher, can demand that crazy $1.6 million price tag. This means there's hardly a scratch on it, and the details are crisp as the day it was minted. It's almost like you found a needle in a haystack, but instead of a needle, it's a small, shiny copper treasure. And let's not forget the history. These pennies are part of a moment in time, and just like vinyl records and vintage sneakers, collectors want that piece of history. Think about it: how many things from 1971 can you say are worth over $1 million? Maybe some old concert tickets, but we're talking about a coin here, something that's been in circulation for years, maybe decades. It's pretty wild. Check your change. Seriously, if you've got a 1971 S Mint mark penny sitting around, it could be worth a fortune. Don't just toss it in your jar. Give it a good look and see if it's in great shape. If it is, you might just have yourself a $1 million penny. You never know, the next time you go to pay for your coffee, that penny in your pocket might change your life. Now, I'm not saying you're going to get rich off every coin you find, trust me, I've been disappointed plenty of times. But that's part of the thrill, right? The search, the hunt, the hope that one day, you'll find that hidden gem. Nut. If you loved hearing about this awesome coin, and you want to learn more about coins worth money, hit that subscribe button. I've got tons more tips and strategies coming your way, and you don't want to miss out. So, go ahead, subscribe and join the community of coin lovers like us. Trust me, you don't want to be the one who misses out when that next big find happens. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Keep hunting those rare coins, and remember, it's not always about the penny in your pocket, but the one you find next that could be worth a fortune. Hey there, coin lovers! Did you know that a coin you might have lying around in your pocket or hidden at the bottom of your drawer could be worth more than a few bucks? I'm talking about a pretty substantial amount. Imagine this: a 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, the kind that most of us probably overlook, can actually fetch up to $1.7 million in the right condition. I know, you're thinking, wait, what? But trust me, it's real. And if you've got one of these in your collection, or somewhere in the depths of your couch cushions, this could be your golden ticket Today, we're diving into the world of the 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, what makes it special, and why it's worth a small fortune. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll be eyeing your pennies with a whole new level of excitement, so let's get started. First things first, let's break it down. The 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny was minted during a time when the US Mint faced some significant changes. But here's the thing, most pennies from 1968 don't have a mint mark. Mint marks, as you probably know, show where a coin was made, whether it was Philadelphia, P, Denver, D, or San Francisco, S. But in 1968, the Philadelphia Mint decided to stop adding the mint mark to their coins, leaving us with a mystery penny. This lack of mint mark actually made the 1968 penny even more rare than its D and S mint mark counterparts. And, like many things in life, the rarer it is, the more valuable it becomes. Especially if it's in mint condition. And that's where the magic happens. And now, a normal penny from 1968 is worth just a couple of cents. Yep, even today's inflation can't boost that value. However, a no-mint mark version in excellent condition can sell for as much as $1.7 million. Mind-blowing, right? But, of course, you have to consider the condition. This penny has to be in uncirculated condition or close to it, to fetch that kind of price. Think about it as a rare treasure, like finding a needle in a haystack. Speaking of finding things, let me share a little story with you. A couple of years ago, I was at my friend's house, and we were going through a bag of old change he had just found in his attic, just random stuff, like coins from trips and things he didn't think much of. One coin caught my eye, a weird-looking penny. I remember asking, "Hey, buddy, this one's got no mint mark. Could it be?" He laughed and said, "Come on, it's just a penny." Well, turns out, that penny wasn't worth millions, sadly, but it definitely got me thinking about how easily we miss out on rare finds if we don't know what to look for. So, here's what you should know about the 1968 no mint mark Lincoln penny. This coin is all about the rarity. It's part of a larger group of error coins that were produced during a transition period for the US Mint, which makes them special. The fact that the mint mark was left off was a big deal at the time, and it caused quite a stir among collectors when it was discovered years later. Condition is key, though. These pennies can't just be used coins, where you can see the wear and tear of years of handling. If your penny looks shiny, crisp, and almost like it just rolled off the minting press, you might be sitting on a fortune. Just imagine, your random penny could end up being the crown jewel of your collection. Alright, let's keep it real. Most 1968 no mint mark pennies won't be worth the big bucks, but here's how you can tell if you've got a winner. The value is highly dependent on the grade of the coin. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. For a penny to be worth millions, it needs to be in near perfect or uncirculated condition. If your penny has seen its fair share of the world and has scratches, dents, or discoloration, then unfortunately, it's not going to make you a millionaire. Now, if you think your penny is in excellent shape, get it checked out. Take it to a professional numismatist or send it off to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can help authenticate and grade your coin, giving you an official market value. I know, it's tempting to dive into your penny jar and hope you've got a treasure chest hidden away. But here's a little nugget of wisdom from someone who's been there: not every penny is a golden one. In fact, the majority of coins you'll come across won't be worth much more than face value. But imagine this: you go through your old coins, find that elusive 1968 no mint mark penny, and get it graded, only to find out it's worth $1.7 million. Now that's a story for the ages. You could even buy a house, or maybe just a whole lot of ice cream. So, if you learned anything today, I hope it's that not all pennies are created equal. And that 1968 no mint mark Lincoln penny? It could be sitting in your collection right now, just waiting to make you rich. Remember, condition is everything, and knowing the rarity of a coin is the first step to understanding its value. Who knows? Maybe you'll find the next big one. So, what's your next step? If you've got a collection, start checking it out. You never know when you might have a gem in there. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more tips on valuable coins, the latest strategies on how to make money from your collection, and more crazy coin stories. Trust me, you won't want to miss what we've got in store next. Hit that bell so you don't miss any of it. See you in the next one, and may your change be forever in your favor. Hey there, coin collectors. Have you ever wondered if that pocket change you've been casually tossing around could be worth a small fortune? I'm talking about those pennies, the ones we all ignore or throw into that jar in the back of the drawer. But, guess what? That penny might just have some serious value. Today, we're diving into the 2020 D-Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a coin that is worth a whopping $1.8 million. Yeah, you heard that right. A coin that's just a penny could be worth more than your car, your laptop, and probably your coffee habit combined. So, grab a seat, get comfortable, and let's talk about this little penny that could make you rich or at least make your day a lot more interesting. A 2020 penny? Really? How on earth can that be worth a fortune? Well, buckle up, because this isn't your average shiny copper circle. We're talking about a coin that's rare, unique, and has caused a bit of a stir in the numismatic world. First off, let's break it down. The 2020 D-Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny was produced in Denver, and like most pennies, it has a pretty simple design. Abraham Lincoln, front and center, with his iconic beard and stovepipe hat, the usual. But here's the kicker, not all 2020 D pennies are worth this much. Oh no, it's a special one, and we'll get into why in just a sec. A lot of it has to do with the fact that there were some minting errors, and only a few exceptional examples of this coin made their way into circulation. These rare versions are what collectors are willing to pay big money for. What's so special about these rare 2020 D pennies? Well, these coins have a specific set of characteristics that make them stand out. Some coins were struck with a minor defect, making them slightly off-center, or with a more visible mistake in the details of Lincoln's image. These errors make the coin stand out, and that's what collectors go wild for. Like most valuable coins, condition is key. A well-preserved coin, shiny and free of scratches, is going to be more valuable. You want your penny looking as close to mint as possible, so don't go tossing it around in your pocket or keeping it in a jar with a bunch of loose change. The 2020 D Abraham Lincoln penny wasn't produced in the quantities we see with regular coins. Fewer of these special coins made their way to the public, which drives up the price. Now, I can almost hear you asking, how do I find one of these rare coins? Well, it's a little tricky, but it's definitely not impossible. These coins can be found in your change, they're still circulating, but the chances are slim. But don't give up just yet. There are a couple of ways to increase your odds. First, get yourself a magnifying glass. It doesn't matter how many pennies you have if you can't spot the ones that stand out. Look for coins with errors or coins that have a perfect finish. It's like a treasure hunt, and who doesn't love treasure hunting? Second, don't forget about coin rolls. Buy some rolls from your bank and go through them. Sure, it's time-consuming, but the thrill of possibly finding a penny worth $1.8 million is totally worth it. It's like going to a yard sale and hoping you find a hidden gem, except in this case, it's literally a coin with a ton of cash value. I get it. I've been there. I've done my fair share of checking every penny I come across, hoping that one of them will be that golden ticket. In fact, just last week, I was cleaning out my wallet and found a penny from 1999, and for a moment, I thought I struck gold. Of course, it turned out to be just another regular penny, but hey, the excitement was real. If anything, it taught me patience and how to look closer. You never know when you're going to strike it rich. Now, let's talk about the market value. So, you found one of these rare 2020 D pennies. What do you do next? Well, first off, don't go running to the first coin dealer you find. Make sure you have a professional grade your coin. That way, you know exactly what you're working with. Coins with minting errors and in perfect condition could easily fetch a price in the thousands, and in some cases, even more. But here's the tricky part, if your penny is worth $1.8 million, you better believe collectors are going to fight tooth and nail for it. The demand is high, and the market for rare coins is hot. That's why it's always a good idea to do your research before selling. The right buyer can push that price even higher. That shiny little 2020 D Abraham Lincoln penny could just be worth a small fortune, and it's all about looking for those rare, special examples with minting errors or perfect conditions. Keep your eyes peeled, do your homework, and remember it might take some time, but you could turn a simple penny into $1 million discovery. Before you run off to your coin jar or go scouring the streets for that elusive penny, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more tips on valuable coins, collecting strategies, and ways to potentially make a ton of cash from something as small as a penny. I promise, you don't want to miss out on the next big coin discovery. And hey, if you do find a 2020 D penny worth $1.8 million, don't forget to send me a thank you card, okay? Hey, coin collectors and casual treasure hunters. Ever thought a single penny could change your life? Well, today, I'm here to drop some knowledge that might just make you start checking your piggy bank. Imagine this: you're digging through some old change, and bam, there it is. A 1962 D mint mark Lincoln penny. No, it's not your average everyday coin. This little guy could be worth up to $1.9 million. Yes, you heard that right, million. If that doesn't have you curious, I don't know what will. Alright, folks, let's dive into this insane story of the 1962 D penny. Now, before you run off thinking I've lost my mind, let's break it down. The 1962 D penny is part of the famous Lincoln Wheat series. You've probably seen one of these at some point. Classic penny, big OL Lincoln's face on one side, wheat stalks on the other. But it's not just any random penny. This one's got potential. A lot of potential. Well, first, it has a unique combination of factors that make it rarer than your typical penny. The 1962 D, minted in Denver, has become something of a legend in the coin world due to its rarity and condition. Most of the pennies from this year are, well, let's just say, less than pristine. But if you find one in mint condition, it could be a real gold mine. These pennies weren't particularly rare when they were made. In fact, they were mass-produced. But the real value comes from the condition of the coin, the rarity, and the little quirks. It may have small errors, like a doubled die or a small imperfection that makes it stand out from the rest. And here's something I learned the hard way. You don't need $1 million coin to strike it rich, but finding something like this? That's a once-in-a-lifetime chance. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, but I don't have a $1.9 million penny sitting around in my drawer. How do I know if I'm sitting on a gold mine? Well, lucky for you, I've got a few tips to help you out. It's all about the condition of the coin. A 1962 D penny in mint state can fetch an incredible amount. We're talking shiny, fresh, almost flawless. Think of it like trying to find a pristine comic book in a world of dog-eared paperbacks. The better the condition, the more it's worth. And now, this is where the magic happens. Some 1962 D pennies have slight errors, double strikes, off-center punches, or weird little features you won't find in your average penny. These are the ones collectors really want. If you find one with an unusual quirk, don't just toss it in the meh pile. Hold on to it, get it appraised, and you might just have something special. I know you're probably thinking, I can just Google the value, right? But here's the thing: Google's great, but a professional appraiser? They know their stuff. Get your coin checked out by someone who knows the ins and outs of the market. You don't want to miss out on big bucks just because you didn't take that extra step. Trust me, it's worth it. Let me tell you a quick story. A couple of years ago, I was at a yard sale. Yeah, those are a treasure trove if you know what you're looking for, and I stumbled upon a box of old coins. Most of them were your run-of-the-mill pennies, nickels, and dimes. But in the bottom of the box, I found an old 1943 steel penny. Now, I didn't know it at the time, but that little guy could be worth hundreds of dollars. I didn't get it appraised at the time, and I still kick myself for that. Moral of the story: don't underestimate the power of an old penny. So, when it comes to the 1962 D penny, don't make the same mistake I did. If you find one, don't just toss it in your spare change jar. It could be worth more than you think, so there you have it. The 1962 D penny, a little coin with a big potential payout. If you find one in good condition, or even with a small error, it could be worth up to $1.9 million. Not bad for something that was probably just lying around your house, huh? But before you get too excited and start tearing through your change, remember, it's all about condition, rarity, and sometimes, a little bit of luck. And if you find one, definitely get it appraised by a professional to find out its real worth. You could be sitting on a small fortune. If you want more tips on finding coins that are actually worth something, and not just the ones you throw into the wishing well, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I've got loads more stories, tips, and strategies for you. You won't want to miss out on the next big coin discovery. Thanks for watching, and remember, there's treasure in your pocket, you just need to know where to look.